So our answer basically is, what did you guys observe today that you liked, you'd like to suggest, or you didn't like? Those are the three answers. Till we get at least five of each, he's not going to let us go drink.
Go.
Hey, doesn't he look like the muscle here? I mean, I mean, we're the mob. He's the enforcer.
The only person I'm going to enforce is him. He's the person I'm enforcing. So help him out, move him along.
Okay, Jay, you're up first.
Huh?
I thought it was healthy, and it made me have to be in a room with where people had thought about something before launching at a presenter.
That's good.
So courtesy from the presenters and from the questioners. So they're good direct questions, what you're telling me. Okay. Anyone else? Anything like that? Go ahead. A good and a bad. Okay, go ahead. Wait a second. Wait a second. This way I can make Josh right. You need a pen?
No. I say the app surprisingly working well and very useful. I didn't want to download it, but the app is very useful.
The app was useful.
Yes.
Okay.
The bad thing, there are too many interesting topics, and I cannot clone myself to attend multiple sessions at the same time.
So too many interesting topics. Okay. Believe it or not, most conferences have that problem, right? Okay. Oh, get out of here, Jay. Come on. We know that. What we have different is they're all recorded. You're going to be able to download them. They will be on a YouTube channel from both CVE and First, so you can actually see the ones you missed. So I overcame one of the negatives. Yes. Your turn. Anyone else? Bad news? Yeah. You got bad news? Yeah. Well, you.
Lunch made me sad.
Lunch made him sad. Okay. Oh, good, Dave.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody, for coming. We're really happy that you're here. I am a little disappointed in all of you. We have technical folks up front from the CVE group ready to support you with technical answers to your questions. They did not get enough work. They were just talking story up there. Front desk tomorrow. Get them working. Thank you.
Okay. The bad news was the CV Tech folks didn't get to work out today and they got a free ride. Oh, let's fix that tomorrow. Okay. Anyone else? And by the way, if someone can check Discord for me, see if there's anything being typed in.
So two things. I really like the swag bag, but I wish I had a folder for all of my vendor literature.
A folder for the vendor literature? You know, that's the first time I heard an ask on that. So you get the star for that one. Thank you. Star. Yeah, I've never had that. Most of us just toss it out. I think a number of conferences I've been at, I've never read them. Oh, no, I saw a hand here, so I'll come back wherever it was. Okay, Megazone. By the way, Megazone and Josh were my co-conspirators in this entire thing, and Megazone's kept a pretty low profile on this. It's not easy for me.
We just had something from you asked me to look at Discord. I asked somebody, and I did. So Jennifer Blackburn says, would love to see a suggestions channel in Discord so we can add them as we think of them.
Jennifer, thank you very much. And by the way, Todd and where's Todd? Todd and Megazone were helping me out. So we will have that channel tomorrow. Okay? Or knowing Todd before we finish. Okay, who is the other hand over here? Okay. So okay, Jeff, you're up.
Obscure one. Yeah. So thanks to Kisa.
Yeah, thanks to the folks at KISA for the talk. I was, as somebody who's involved in compliance around the world, I was very happy to see that they are looking to align to other existing methods. I think we have 59 different compliance regimes that we already do. One more is not exciting, but having it aligned, that's a good thing. I am nervous, however, that there were so many key definitions that seem to not yet be defined that could make or break the success of that.
So KISA aligning to other compliance regimens, although definitions still are an open question, which scare us all because everyone comes up with a new requirement, which is additive, never supplanting, and they always use a different definition for something we already do. Okay, that is an ecosystem problem, I think. Wait, so I got Jim over here, and then back to you.
So just to be clear, I'm just trying to help Josh fill his goals, his artificial goal. So on the bad, you guys rejected all 4 of my presentation submissions. And I understand why, because on the plus side, you had much better content in all these other presentations anyhow. So way to go.
Am I supposed to make a dinosaur remark about we've been around that eon already? He gave me a yellow card. Okay. Anyone knows Jim, I lucked out because he thought about the red card. Over here, down my back. And Crow finally came up with something, but you're second. Go ahead, Chris.
No, so I just noticed we talked about it earlier about networking amongst the folks here. Between the talks, I noticed there wasn't really any time to do that. Actually, they were right up against each other. So I think it would be good to have some time in between the talks to kind of roam the halls, maybe give like 10 minutes between each talk.
Okay, more networking time. Here's the funny part is we started with extra 10 minutes of networking in the beginning, and you guys immediately went into networking, but I get your point. We actually talked about that. Crow argued for it. We are looking at next year already asking about availability. We're talking about 4 days, and one of them will be kind of more lightning talk days, is a thought. Okay, not that we got there. And a little bit more of the vendor alley so you can actually go around and do things and also network while you're doing so. Okay, networks are good. Vendors are good because it helps us keep the price point down. So, we want to encourage that. Plus, believe it or not, they are part of the ecosystem. But we've got to figure out how that works in the ecosystem. Okay. Okay. Grove.
So my bad thing was we had a limited amount of time to curate content for this event. We had, through some machinations, we were able to squeeze out 38 sessions that we accepted talks for. We had almost 60 submittals for abstracts. So we had a hard time picking what you've got here. So like to Jim's point, some people didn't get selected because we just had a wealth of content. And so my suggestion, I think I put it in the channel, is, with expanding, we potentially not only expand days, but also expand the number of tracks, and we can do a little more variety, like training or lightning talks, or bringing like students from NC State in, have them observe or watch, have some type of student track to, again, bring up that next generation. So that was my sad, is we didn't have enough time to give you folks a better program.
Okay, so more tracks. I actually added a track for going to that. We'll have to add more breaks. The student one I've heard a second time now. So that's an interesting part, especially they're here. And tomorrow, I don't want to presage, I have an introduction about a working group that's new, that is for how do we make sure our legacy, i.e. who follows us, has room to grow. More on that tomorrow.
One thing that's already been suggested, we have a Discord for like the organizers too, is for next year as we mature, giving out slide templates ahead of time for people who are doing the presentations and guidelines Like you'd want light on dark or dark on light, light on not quite as light, but when it's projected on a screen when you're sitting in the back of the room, it's really hard to make out. So just like improving some of the slides, I've heard from other people too that sometimes the slides were a bit of an eye test because the color contrast wasn't there.
Okay, these are growing pains. They're good to have, I think. Some of us wish we had used things we already knew from before. By the way, for those of you who are mostly, well, around this table, volunteered, we didn't stop. We're just going to continue. Okay, so that means we're already starting next year's planning. I saw 2 or 3 hands over here, so okay. Go ahead, Dan.
So I thought the sessions were phenomenal, very informative. 2 things I wish we could do. I wish we had a breakfast session for networking from 7:30 to 8 for some of us who didn't eat breakfast this morning, as well as have the ability to submit these surveys from these sessions one at a time versus by the day. Otherwise, you got to do them all at the same time.
Okay. So we'll do that sessions input. Okay, we'll fix that. And interesting idea about the networking breakfast. How do we do that? So we'll work on that, see how we can make that happen. Okay. Problem is when I start adding things like that, I got to bump a little bit of the dollar price because let's say the first CFO and I had a lot of discussion about what the price point was. Okay. And I want to keep it a low price point because historically I've seen product security incident response teams and our ecosystem, we don't get that kind of travel that others get. Okay. So I am very, very sensitive that a lot of organizations can't send a lot of people if the price point is high. And I already had one director, I think it's a senior director, tell me about he was able to afford getting 3 of his team here because of that price point. So maybe that's an add-on. I don't know. We'll have to figure that part out. Okay. Which means I think one of the things we need to do, Josh, is probably have some kind of survey of who would be willing to do so we can kind of set some of those parameters and not make everyone have to do all of that. Okay. An idea, is that okay? Okay, great. But I love the input. Anyone else? I know there was another hand over here. Oh, Matt, you're going to disappoint your boss. I know you are. Okay. And don't tell me you're one of those open source types.
I guess I'm sad. I'm kind of curious why you didn't wear a fedora yourself today. When you you have one at home, I know. On the positive side, I guess I have not been to a conference personally where it wasn't hosted by a vendor that was selling something or selling themselves, and so it's been incredibly refreshing today from my open source heart. The amount of collaboration and transparency here, with admittedly probably some that could be considered competitors. So I'd like to say thank you to the organizations for hosting this. I'm sad that it's on NC State's campus as a UNC alumni, this close to the ACC tournament, but
give me a deal.
Yeah. But that is one thing I just noticed today, that the openness and transparency and willing to share lessons learned, because we all have a common goal at the end of the day. So thank you.
In truth, Matt's one of my guys. I did not put him up to that. It is the first time he's gotten to do one of these. So to have somebody who's never been to see that without any prompting does my heart good, because that's what this community is about. This is what you're about. Okay. So I really appreciate that openness, being able to talk. And I've always seen that in the response community because we have a common problem. The threat is so big, our customers are so demanding, and you're never in it by yourself. Anyone who thinks they're by themselves, you're missing an opportunity to really grow and get something from everyone else, because I know there's a lot of lessons from you all collectively. Okay. We have 8 more minutes before they open the beers. Oh, Crow. He will come up with a few more. I know he will.
To kind of pile on to Matt's comment, what I appreciate, especially through the submissions and what we were able to put together, I think we have a really good cross section of our ecosystem. Not everybody, we had some suggestions like, well, wouldn't it be great if we had medical community in here and automotive? But I think for a first year, I think I really appreciate just the breadth of folks we have. We have folks from government organizations around the world representing, talking about their perspectives. We have vendors, we have researchers and maintainers. So I think this is a really good cross section, and I'm very excited to kind of see where we can take this. So I would encourage us next year, wherever we can, increase that diversity of the contributions of folks we have here.
The one rule I had, and that the program committee readily was part of, was this is about the vulnerability ecosystem. If we focus on the ecosystem and our mutual challenge, and how do we learn to collaborate and communicate, then we are successful. And that's been our guiding light. So I know that there's a vendor community out there that does specific things to what we do. And it's not to hold them back or out, but we need to talk about how we make the structure work so that their job is a lot more simplified in getting the information across to our mutual customers. And that's really the key of how we define moving forward. So thank you for that. We have another one on the Discord. Okay.
Okay, a couple things from Discord. So Jennifer Blackburn says she thinks it would be awesome if on the agenda there were different topic tags to help attendees pick what to go to, like GRC or leadership or developer frameworks. Great. So like talk about that. That's a good idea. Dave Dougal Juniper says, on the Discord side, perhaps ask attendees to update their server profile, server nickname to be able to format name, like parent organization, so you can see on Discord like where people are from. That's probably a good idea. I'll do that to mine. Jericho says, number the slides so we can refer to them more easily in chat. Like when you're talking on Discord saying, oh, slide number, that's actually a good idea. Somebody asked if there's a feedback form for the sessions, and Dave provided a link, it looks like, on the website. And Jennifer says, price point was great. Even on a spending freeze, I was able to get it approved.
Great. Hey, listen, for all those who are still on the live stream, thank you very much there. First time we've tried in the Vone community a good hybrid event. We did the last TC just before COVID, and it worked okay, but we weren't as expansive as this. Yeah. Yeah, this was much better. So we're hoping to keep that because we know not everyone can travel. And I want to go back to, I forget whose comment it was about the national CSIRTs. I think it was Jeff. We purposely look for, national CSIRT inputs. We have ANISA coming up tomorrow. Okay. Of course, we have CERT India as well. They're here. Thank you. Korea with KISA. And then we had JP-CERT as well, right? So we really look for that input because this is a global problem, a global solution, even though we're kind of based in North America for how we're doing our event. Okay. I know there was another hand. I saw it, and then I forget where it was. Who was it? Come on. Raise your hand again. No? You guys are counting down the minutes? Yeah, it's only like 3 minutes left. Okay. So when we move over to the other room, I have one thing I want to bring together, and that is I've asked the CVE board and MITRE folks to congregate near the front. We'll do one announcement, and then it's network and, open bar. I can't do better than that on a 250 tag, let me tell you. Okay? So if you will all please move across, and we'll see you there. Thanks.